Dear students, today we are doing one more experiment from the instrumentation, that is determining the amount of ferrous ammonium sulfate in the given solution by standard potassium dichromate solution using a potentiometer. So in this experiment we are using the device potentiometer, and it is a device which is used for comparing potential sources, and this experiment is one of the potentiometric titration method, and here we are determining the equivalence point of the redox titration, and on the basis of potential measurement. So this is called as a potentiometric titration, and this experiment, which involves the principle, that is a redox reaction. So in this, it is the measurement of EMF between the two electrode. One is an indicator electrode and another one is the reference electrode. So in this titration, measurement of EMF are made while the titration is in progress, and the equivalence point of the reaction is observing by a sudden change in the potential, so that when we plot the graph, that is potential against volume of potassium dichromate, so at that time, so we can observe a sudden change in the potential from a small value to a large value, and by that sudden change in the value in the graph, so that will be calling as a equivalence point, and that can be using in the calculation part to determine the amount of FAS. So dear students, this is the instrument that in the last time we discussed about this one. This instrument is using both to determine the pK value by using the pH meter. So this is also called as a pH meter as well as a potentiometer. Now in this a small change so that must be made to convert the pH meter to potentiometer. So this is the small change. So here one of the buttons which is pressed, so that mode is get converted into potentiometer, and as usual the remaining thing we are doing the experiment at room temperature, and so this is the entire setup, so which is already done. So here for this experiment we need three solutions. One is ferrous ammonium sulfate, and another one is sulfuric acid, and the third one is potassium dichromate solution. So as per the procedure, so first we have to pipette out 25 ml of ferrous ammonium sulfate into a small beaker, and to that 2 test tube full of H2SO4, so which is adding to the same beaker. So here we already pipetted out 25 ml of FAS solution and added 2 test tube full of H2SO4 into the same beaker, and the burette is filled by one of the strong oxidizing agent, that is potassium dichromate solution. So here the one question is get arising. We are doing the titration, that is FAS against potassium dichromate solution. So why we are added that H2SO4 here? So that is the question, so which is arising. So this potassium dichromate solution, so when it behaves as an oxidizing agent as well as a reducing agent only when the solution is in acidic medium. So here this is the reason, so we are added the H2SO4 to the FAS solution. And these are the two electrodes, platinum, this is blue color, one is the platinum, and another one, so which is a calomel electrode. So both are initially, so which are immersed in the distilled water. Now I am replacing these two electrodes and keeping in the FAS solution, and just I will shake the solution, and initial reading I want to adjust it for 180. Okay, that's fine. Without the addition of potassium dichromate, so the starting value I just started from 181, and now adding only 0.5 ml of potassium dichromate solution into the beaker. And now shake the solution. So potential or the EMF value, so which is gradually get increases, so which is changed to 199 from 181 to 199. And now again 0.5 increment of potassium dichromate solution is get added into the FAS solution. Shake the solution every time. Now it is increased to 222. Next again I am adding 0.5 ml of potassium dichromate. Total volume becomes 1.5 ml, and it is increased to 237. So like that every time we have to increase 0.5 increment of that potassium dichromate solution into the FAS, and each time you have to stir the solution, and gradually the potential, so which is increasing. Now I am adding total volume of that potassium dichromate. It is 2.5 ml. Now the total volume becomes 3 ml. Now we added a 3.5 ml of potassium dichromate, and the value of EMF, so which is observed as a 310. So like that we have to continue until so we observe a sudden change in the EMF value. Now total volume of 5 ml of potassium dichromate is added into the FAS solution, and here you can see the potential, so which is changed to 686, and we have mentioned that one for 5 ml addition of potassium dichromate. So you can see in the previous one value, that is for 4.5 ml of potassium dichromate addition, so we observed it is a 350 millivolt, but for 5 ml, so it is suddenly jumped to a large value, that is 685. So that is the value, so we were observed. So this is one of the sudden change in the EMF value. And now onwards, still I am increasing potassium dichromate addition to the FAS solution in a 0.5 increment. And you can observe here, still the EMF also which is increasing, but not a huge value. It is increasing slightly. The difference between the two values, so which what here we are observing, it is very small, difference. So now it becomes 691. Now I'm adding another 0.5 increment, 0.5 ml of potassium dichromate, and it is increased to 6 696. So likewise, every time we have to add 0.5 ml of potassium dichromate solution into the FAS solution. So here you can see, so gradually the potential value, so which is increased, and for 10 ml now we observed that so it is 733. So in this way we have to do the experiment, and after finding all the EMF value, so we have to find out the delta E value, delta V value. So delta E, so it is the difference between the two value. So subtract the high value from the low value, and write here because the first value of these three, delta E, delta V, and delta E by delta V, we are considering as 0. And here subtract one value from the previous one, subtract high value from the low value, so it becomes 8 1 0. So it is the 18 difference. So like that you have to do the remaining calculation. And delta V, so it is also in a similar manner, subtract 0.5 in a previous one value, so it becomes a 0.5, and in a similar fashion, so 1 minus 0.5, so 0.5 every time. So you are added the 0.5 ml increment of potassium dichromate, so the difference will be always a 0.5, and here so you are getting a different value according to the difference, so which is obtaining by subtracting the high value from the low value. And after knowing the delta E and delta V value, so at the end, so you have to find out delta E by delta V value. So these are the final values, so which are obtained. So after calculating delta E, delta V, and dividing the delta E by delta V, so we got these kind of readings. And so here at 5 ml, so it was a sudden change, so we observed, and the difference of difference of this value, which is taken by comparing the previous one, so it is a 335, and which is divided by the 0.5, and we got it is a 670. And so once after getting these values, so we have to plot the graph. So delta E by delta V is taking over the y-axis, and the volume of potassium dichromate along the x-axis. So then, so here first you have to fix the scale. Over the x-axis, it is 1 centimeter is equal to 0.5 ml, and over the y-axis, it is 1 centimeter is equal to 50 units. So this is the graph, so which is obtained. So after taking all the values, so here you can see for 5 ml addition, so it was the sudden jump, and this is called as a equivalence point. Equivalence point, that is V is equal to 5 ml. So now take this V value, V is equal to 5, and substitute in the calculation part. So here there is a formula. So normality of FAS first we have to find out. So for that, so normality of FAS is equal to normality of potassium dichromate into volume of potassium dichromate divided by volume of FAS. So we know the normality of potassium dichromate, so it is a 0.25, and this is the V, so which is obtained from the graph. And for conduction of experiment, so we pipetted starting about 25 ml of FAS solution into the beaker, and now we got this value V, so that is 5. So while after all the calculation, 0.25 into 5 divided by 25, so the normality of FAS becomes 0.05. And now still there is a calculation, so which is left here. So we have to find out the weight of FAS per liter. For that, so there is a formula, so that is the normality of FAS, so which is obtained in the previous calculation, into equivalent weight of FAS. Equivalent weight, it is a 392.14. So multiply 0.05 into 392.14. So there we can find 19.6 gram per liter. So hence the amount of FAS in the given solution, it is 19.6 gram per liter. So in this way, so we are finding the amount of FAS in the given solution.